Back with Bobby and JJ Radio. Bobby and I have known this gentleman. I don't know if I can call him a gentleman, but we've known Randy Elgin for a very long time. It's been about a decade and a half. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's 15 years for those.
Yeah, 15 years.
Thanks for clarifying.
You are with and have always been with Keller Williams City View, which is our office there on I-10 Huebner.
He is the reason why I'm at Keller Williams.
That's true.
That is true.
You brought this parasite,
Elaborate on that.
this cancer over to Keller Williams, right?
Is there good cancers?
Not really.
Well, I mean, they can be benign or malignant.
No, that's right.
You know.
He's pretty malignant. So you're the reason you recruited Bobby into Keller Williams Realty, and you started probably right after me, or like you're right in between when we started. I think I have you by a couple months and stuff.
Yes,
like that.
by a couple months.
So you have a very unique, I remember, story. Not a very traditional story of how you talk about your journey about getting into real estate. Why did you get into this real estate game?
I lost an environmental job.
Like picking up trash? No, it's environmental sciences.
So between 2001 and 2004, I lost 2 environmental jobs. And the country was not really a great place. I mean, we were at war. There was not a lot of stuff going on in terms of focusing on environmental issues.
Sure.
So when I lost my second consulting job, it's like, I'm going to go into an industry where I can get fired every day, and I've been here 15 years, so I'm not sure what's
if I
going
remember
on.
correctly, you bought a home, and which was our coach, right? Wasn't he your real estate agent?
Yeah. Yep.
And he recruited you to the company.
So a year before I lost my job in 2003, I went to him because I hated my job. And I'm just like, can I do this? And he goes, well, yeah, but you're going to have a problem. I'm like, well, what's that problem? Because you're an engineer, you have no personality. So
Peel the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, okay, well, how do you really feel about it?
Yeah.
So here I am 15 years later.
That's awesome. So your company is called SA Realty Watch.
That's correct.
And has something to do with
Elgin.
Your last name.
That's correct.
Because I didn't know an Elgin until I met you is a clock of some sorts.
Right. So I always thought that my lineage came from Elgin watches, and it has nothing to do with it. And in fact, Elgin watches has nothing to do with
A name.
Well, it has everything to do with actually the Elgin marbles. So it's actually a hymn, and my name comes from Scotland, which is in the northeast of
I'll be there in about two months.
Do what?
I'm going in 2 months, by the way.
Oh, you are?
I'll tell him you said hi.
Okay. Well, I'm going up there to get my key because my name's actually from Elgin, Scotland, and my 6th great grandfather is from Banff, Scotland, which is 35 miles from there.
Cool.
And his fourth great grandson actually named Elgin, Texas, back in 1872.
Wow.
What's the population of Elgin, Texas?
I don't know.
More than 30, but less than a million.
Depends on how fast you drive.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so let's
23.
talk. So talk about your journey in real estate, and you're a single agent, and you've kind of expanded from there.
Yeah, so I came in, I had a coach, he told me what to do. I asked him if it would make me money. He goes, yes, so I went and did it.
Yeah.
Very task-oriented and system-oriented, obviously.
Sure.
So basically just started creating the system so that I didn't have to do a whole bunch of repetitive work because that just drives me nuts.
Right.
And so I got a transaction coordinator, and that was one of the first important lessons. It's like I was trying to explain to her what to do, and I just realized that she knew what she was doing. I just need to leave her alone.
Yeah, get out of your own way.
Yeah, I said, shut up, Randy. Leave her alone.
Sure.
So.
And how's that help you and your clients?
Oh, it helps tremendously because they have somebody they can talk to when they can't get a hold of me.
Right.
And they're focused on that whole thing. Let's get you to the finish line. through this.
How has your engineering life spilled into and helped you feel as in the real estate life?
In positive or negative?
Let's go with positive.
Let's go
Good positive. So it has spilled into it in terms of the problem solving. Looking at it from all the different angles, what the buyer or the seller's opinion might be, what their agents might be thinking, what are the things that we have to overcome instead of dealing with personality issues. Are they really focusing on this pink wall that really should be painted versus looking at the things that are safety, structural, mechanical, that are the big deals. These are the deal breakers.
Sure. And so the problem solving skills that
Yeah.
came from engineering is
Right. Looking at it from a different aspect.
breaking it, problem solving from beginning to end.
Right, and seeing how everything is tied together. I mean, we don't have one single system within any business, really, that you push a button and everything's done.
Right.
Right, so we have the MLS, we have our own websites, we have our cell phones, we have all these different technologies that we need to incorporate. And when you go in dealing with a buyer and go into a closing, you probably have a dozen people that are involved in this whole transaction
Right.
that you have to corral like cats.
Well, talk about a client now working with you, what they should expect in a transaction, or buying or selling a home with you.
Sure. So I want the relationship, which is a lot different than what it was when I first came in.
Right.
I mean, being an engineer, I was very transactionally based, and I'm here 15 years later, but it's not because I didn't do everything perfect. I did a lot of things wrong. Okay. But it comes down to the relationship. And so when I'm going into a meeting with a buyer or a seller, it's like if we're getting along, that's a good sign. And I tell them, you're not going to work with somebody you don't like.
Definitely not.
So, I mean, I'm still sitting here, and I'm sitting here at your dinner table, so I guess we're good so far, right? And that usually gets them a chuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, we've broken some ice here, so.
Well, Randy is one of the top agents in the industry. If you want some personal attention and create a relationship, give him a call or text at 210-232-2310. Again, that's 232-2310, or check out his website at sarealtywatch.com.